Greetings, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to give it a few minutes, let people come in and get situated. I am so excited that it is the solstice.
Yes,
Happy summer solstice. We love this time of year, don't we?
yes, we do. Yes, we do. Oh, I am grateful, Mushasu, to be here present with you on summer solstice.
Yes, me
Gratitude,
too.
gratitude.
It feels so. I think, and I know Lotus said it last night. Yetunde, she said it last night. This is like our retreat. We know that we're gonna do this. We know we're gonna vibe up. We know that there's
Yes,
gonna be some knowledge shared. With the
yes.
group and the circle and the world. It's a beautiful
Oh,
feeling.
oh, yes. When I listened to Asir and Teresa on Monday, oh, my soul was like, ooh. And then your tune day yesterday,
Yeah.
oh, I said, I'm ready.
Yes, yes. This is it's a wonderful. I love when spirit drops something in me and I know that it's right because everybody is like right there. Yep. Everybody's like, yep, we're doing this, and
Mhm.
it's no hustle, no bustle,
Mhm.
it's just time, and we're learning together and then we're sharing with everyone.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
We're gonna give it another 3 minutes. I like to start right at 7:05 because some people are like, oh, they're gonna start at 7 o'clock, but it's 7 o'clock, and so they still have to get here.
That's okay. I'm sharing links.
Wonderful.
My loved ones who don't remember.
Yes. Busy people.
I did share on your page as well.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. I'm going to go back over there so that, let's see, so I can almost follow the questions if I can.
Okay.
There's Charnel. Okay, she's been with us. Welcome back. There's
Yay!
Charnel. Okay, she's.
Yay! How can I see if they have questions or
Go to the Ignite Your Soul Connection page.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
This thing gonna say send 200 stars to see your comments. That's not necessary. No, thank you. We're okay with the no comments.
I tell you. Summer solstice. Oh,
All right, one more minute, and then I'm gonna drop us off of this, and we will get started.
okay.
This is one of my favorite topics with you.
Oh,
This is one of my faves. It's going to be fine. And this is day 3. It's like, wow.
fast,
Yes.
fast. Because I didn't want y'all to stop talking. I was like, no, wait,
I know.
we
And I
need
don't want to go 2 hours because people's time, people's like,
to.
I still got to do this and that.
But it went so fast.
Yes. So, welcome everyone. You've seen we've been getting ourselves together, let you in the back room with us, so that's okay. This is day 3 of Ignite Your Soul Connection. We're doing healing trauma.
Mm,
And if you've been with us since Monday, you have had the opportunity to really see how we dig into the work and the importance of it. One of the things that I asked you to do on Monday was to allow yourself to be expanded, right? To be expanded. It's not about whether you agree with what we're saying, whether you disagree. You can do all that later. You can go and research for yourself, but to participate in being willing to just listen. So, I'm asking you to continue to do that because sometimes we say some outlandish things, but trust me, we've been there. Okay, we've all been there. We all push back too, and so we don't mind that. However, we realize that our community is in dire need of the work that we do. And we know that we can't get it out to the masses. And the way that the universe has set it up with us is that we do small groups at a time. So if you found yourself in this conversation with us, you're one of the people waking up. You're one of the masters ready to teach and walk. So, we welcome you and we participate with you like that. This is not work for the masses, right? So that's my spiel for what we're doing. Tonight, though, I'm with one of our senior most coaches and one of my biggest cheerleaders. You really are, Dr. Tammye. She is just someone that keeps me moving to the next level. Dr. Tammye, I don't even know if you realize that, but one of the reasons that I continue on my workout at 65 years old and why I continue to eat healthy, why I continue to drink alkaline water, is because of the work that you do and that you have been doing. Has it been, what, 12, 13? How long has it been, Dr. Tammye?
13 years.
13 years.
Oh, yeah.
That's an impact
Mm.
in all of the lives. And so we've been on this path together for 13 years because the same time that you opened your business, you also became a Master Force certified life coach. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the people and let them know why I love you so much?
Oh, well, first and foremost, I have to say, when you invited me to be a speaker and to speak with you, I just teared up. And so
Oh,
I said I wasn't going to cry tonight, but what an honor to
mm,
be able to sit across from you and to be able to speak about such an important topic. I'm so grateful.
yes.
Um, so, for those who don't know me, I am a holistic healer. I am what they call a naturopathic doctor, and I am a Master Force Executive Life Coach as well.
Mm-hmm.
I started a little bit about my background. Graduated from the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign in biology pre-medicine. Worked in healthcare most of my career. Left the pharmaceutical sales industry after 11 years to start Restored by Tammye in 2010 as a result of um, awakening and learning that I have the power to heal myself. I, in my 30s, suffered from fibroids, um, pelvic inflammatory disease, high blood pressure, lymphedema, high cholesterol. As I aged, the weight uh, continued to creep upon me until I got to the age of 39. My daughter was getting married. I couldn't find anything to wear for the wedding. My only daughter was getting married, and I was a whopping 242 pounds.
Wow, Tammy. Okay. You
Yeah,
have come a long way. I can't even remember that though.
yeah, yeah. So by the time we met, I had started my journey
Yeah.
of losing weight. So I was about probably 30 pounds down by the time you met
Okay.
me.
Good. That's why I don't remember. Okay.
Yeah, that's why. Mhm. You
Okay.
didn't see me at that size.
No,
Yeah, but I have pictures.
no.
And yeah, so although the journey is all our lives, I would say my awakening actually happened at the age of 37 after connecting with my naturopathic doctor and training under Dr. Laila Africa.
Yes.
Um, my awakening really truly began. My naturopathic doctor is Dr. Derek Williams, that's located in Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
And a year after starting with him, I enrolled in Dr. Laila Africa's course in becoming a registered naturopathic doctor. And then I bumped into or met Mu Shemsu-t at a networking event and and chased her out. You know, she laughs at me because she didn't realize I was chasing her around the whole event, but it was her light, her energy. A brother who told me what she did, her work. I said, I have to meet this lady. And she was going so fast, talking and walking. I didn't want her to leave without me connecting. Um, and my life had been changing, but it truly transformed after connecting with you and having my coaching sessions with you.
And that is so amazing. I remember that day, and I remember when the crowd went down and you stood there and you said, if it was going to take me all day, I was waiting for you. I
Yes,
said, what?
yes. I knew if I didn't know anything else, I knew that you were my master teacher.
Oh, that's
I
so
knew that. I
sweet.
knew that. And we've been together ever since.
And we've been together. And Tammye, you've probably put 20 to 25 people through Master Force
Mm,
certification. You have been telling people, go if you're gonna get certified, and I do know you let it be their own natural occurrence. But when they come and say that's what they want to do, you say, well, go over here to Mu Shemsu-t.
oh,
And I appreciate that so much because it means a lot to me. In our community, we are very selfish
yeah.
in promoting each other and making a difference. My brother tells me all the time, he said, if you were a white woman or a black man, you would be a billionaire because what you do is far beyond anything I've ever seen.
And the lives that you touch is beyond. So the work,
But see, you know what we know about this work? That profit is not always in cash. Okay, the work that we're doing, cash can't touch it anyway.
not at all.
So I don't even get caught up in that. I don't, it's like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. If the
Absolutely.
only person I was supposed to reach was Dr. Tammye,
Mm.
that's what I was supposed to do. Each one teach one.
Each one teach one.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So that one was you for me.
It was, and when I started on this journey, I tell my clients, I just wanted to lose weight.
Yep.
I wasn't trying to get in all this deep stuff. So if anybody's watching thinking, ooh, y'all didn't know, I just wanted to lose weight. And, I, when I started on my whole detox experience, holistic detox experience, I realized that this was bigger than what I thought.
It's much bigger.
And that's how
Yeah.
universe brought us together.
Inside of that conversation,
Mhm.
um, in the work that we're going to do tonight, we're not using the same terms. Society just takes everything and try to, I don't know, monetize everything. So when we're talking master, we're literally speaking to our intention to ascend spiritually, that we really honor the work, that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Greg spoke on that profoundly on Monday. And we want to support other people in doing that so that they can be in the world but not of the world. And in doing that, we have to get our families back.
Yes.
We have to teach our mothers, our women that listen, we are the greatest asset in the community.
We are.
It doesn't diminish who men are because we need them too. We see how we're suffering without our brother kings.
Yes.
It's not that we don't need them, but let me tell you, mothers who are not nurturing their children, it's an issue. It's a huge issue. But we can't even blame them because most of them were not nurtured either. So when we're talking about master, we're talking about self mastery. We're talking about taking on aspects of your own development, looking at yourself and knowing that you need to come from here and close that gap. So most of what we do is show you where the gap is.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. What else would you say to that, Dr. Tam?
Well, I was going to say when I said you were my master teacher,
Mm-hmm.
essentially I saw me and you
Yep.
in an ascended position. So you were my mirror. And I got excited because, again, when I started this journey, it was just really about losing weight. And then I honestly loved working in the pharmaceutical sales industry, selling drugs.
Right.
I
And
did.
making that long
I
cash,
was making
baby.
money.
Long cash. Come on.
Cash. I had a company car. I had the credit card.
Right. And you had a nice, beautiful condo,
Had
okay?
my opera lofts over by the South Loop Hotel in
Yeah.
downtown Chicago area, South Loop, Bronzeville, whatever you want
Come
to
on. Whatever you call it. Yeah.
whatever you call that area, and living large.
Yep.
So my intentions were not to leave my profession to do the work.
Yep.
So I was unsure. But when I saw you, I saw
Mm.
what I was becoming.
Wow.
And that was exciting because I had no idea what the God, universe, creator, what was happening in my life.
And that's what it's like too, because we don't have those examples, right? Where's this taking me? And you literally have to have the courage to just keep moving forward, don't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, on that note, I would like for you to describe the master teacher process. Like, how would you describe that without going into the details of how we do it? When you actually went through the master teacher process for yourself, how would you describe it to someone else with that
Mm.
provide?
Well, first of all, being aware of what happened, like being very clear about a situation or a circumstance or something that has happened in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, because, well, let me say this too. When we're talking about our personal or thinking about our personal experiences, sometimes we have on, those colored glasses.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me say that, and with those rose-colored glasses, uh, we see only one side, what that other person did, or
Did. That's right.
right, and we have that victim. We sit in
Yep.
that victim stance.
Mm-hmm.
But when we're talking about master teacher, when we're talking about um, uh, the process, it's taking off those glasses and it's looking at, okay, it's taking myself out of that victim position and it's looking at truthfully what has happened. Like, just be honest.
Yeah, that's really great. I was looking at something the other day and I couldn't find it. I got so busy doing something else because I said this would have been great. So
Uh-huh.
I'm paraphrasing what it was. I wanted to look back because how you see something, you think that's real good and you'll come back to it. And
Yeah.
then, but what the statement was that 90 8% of the population lives life through perception, right?
Mm.
Like how they perceive something. So those rose colored glasses.
Oh, that's good. Yes,
And
yes.
then the other 2% have to help them change their view. So if you're talking to most people and you just said they're victims, most people you talk to are going to agree with everything that you say as far
Yes,
as being a victim. And
yes,
only 2% are actually saying, well, maybe this is what was going on.
exactly.
So that's with that. Yep. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
So I can
And
see that.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And then, of course, the process. Who was involved?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, be clear on that. What did I learn about myself?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, in that experience. And what is there to acknowledge?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
And as simple as it sounds, right? As simple as that sounds,
Mhm.
it's just changing how we see it. It's changing the view, right?
It
Now, do
is.
you remember how you felt when you discovered the master teachers in your personal realm, when you took off those glasses and stopped being the victim? Do you remember?
Oh, I was mad. I was angry. I was
Mm,
mad. I wasn't ready to take
mm,
off my rose-colored glasses.
yes. Because
So,
we need to have somebody to blame.
yes. So I wasn't happy when y'all started showing up.
I told somebody today, I say, as much as people love me, most people don't like me because I'm going to show you something about yourself that you do not want to deal with right now. And it's okay.
And
I
it's okay.
It's all right. The
Yeah.
universe has taught me how to love being in my own space with myself. So it's like, okay, I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
But that's it, Tammy. When you discover it, it's like, yeah, I see it, but I don't want to see it.
So I didn't embrace. So when I came to you for coaching,
Hmm.
and you were telling, you weren't allowing me to be the victim, I'm like, I just paid a whole bunch of money to be upset, right?
Yes.
But then later on,
Mm,
that's why it's important to go to coaching sessions because
yes.
you're not gonna get it in one. You're just not gonna get it in one sitting. But I started to my mind started to transform,
Mm.
and the universe, I believe, God, creator, whatever you want to call it, just started like showing me little pieces of myself,
Yes.
reinforcing the things that we had discussed.
Yes.
So then now I'm open for another session because I'm like, okay,
I can
okay,
see that now. And see, that's so important for us to realize that when we're speaking in this moment, there's seeds being dropped into our soul,
mm,
right? So you may not get it right now. Like you said, first of all, I don't like what I'm hearing, but it's still getting in there.
still
So
getting
now, once those seeds get in there, your soul and your spirit can continue the work. That's why it's so important for us to do these sessions. Somebody said, "Don't nobody listen to you." I said, "It doesn't even matter. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm honoring my process for my
absolutely,
work." So
absolutely,
the universe is going to make sure whoever needs to hear this hears this.
absolutely.
So when you go back and you have this time to yourself, your spirit starts saying, yeah, remember this? Now look at it like this, and you can hear it better.
I could hear it better. And this is why I'm big on fasting or detoxing
Yes.
because it helps you to hear better.
It helps you to hear
You're
better.
not self-medicating. So at that point, I was vegan, but had I not been, or, just aware of me being on this journey, I would have self-medicated with food
Yes.
because I'm not hearing you and then I'm not coming back. But
Yeah.
because I had already started this journey where I was restricting myself from these comfort foods and things, I could hear more, I could hear better.
Mm-hmm.
And that led to me then elevating. My vibrations started coming up, coming higher. Then
Mm-hmm.
I started meeting other master teachers.
Man, it's so. I had master teachers knocking on my door. Do you hear me? I used to say, "Look, it's a Qigong master at the door teaching classes in my house." It was just here's the healer of the community knocking on my door. That's how I knew we had moved. We had shifted, Dr. Tammye.
Yeah,
It's like we're moving into the space we're supposed to be in.
yes, absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
no, that's
And then when you contacted me about Masterforce,
right, because you had been my client for a while. Well, you had been my client, and then you actually hired me to come and work with your clients. And then I said, well, instead of me working with your clients, why don't you become a certified life coach? And then you can do that work with them.
yes, because I knew the biology, the
Yes.
science, so
Yeah.
I could teach the eating piece of it. But what I realized was that there were things that were happening emotionally with people that they couldn't hear me
Nope.
until they could resolve or at least learn how to heal internally.
Yeah.
And that's then when I said, "Oh, I'm going to need some help because this is not my realm."
Yes.
Like when I asked you, and then yeah, when you said you was starting the academy, I'm in, I'm in.
I love that first class. I mean, still, all of you are still very instrumental in my life and my growth. So that whole first class, yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
And then Dr. Tammye, you started even after you did the life coaching and you quit your job and started taking, going through, you started moving away from the world. You started like, yeah, this is not who I am anymore. You remember
yeah,
that?
absolutely, absolutely. Uh, just a very challenging time
Yeah.
because one of the things that you said in regards to the healing process and paying attention to the things that caused the trauma, right? But then realizing how I interpreted that action
Mm-hmm.
was really what caused the wound,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
My interpretation of that action. So I became more sensitive to my nervous system,
Mm.
the energy. I mean, going through Master Force, it changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where I did not feel guilty for separating myself.
Yeah. Yeah, we
So,
don't even realize how we're overstimulated.
hmm
We
hmm
just, it's just so much going on, so much. And we just allow ourselves to just keep getting carried away. But what suffering is our nervous system. And it
absolutely,
doesn't even know what to do because if you're not taking care of your own nervous system, who is?
who is,
Nobody.
who is,
So it can't even support you.
yes, yes.
And
And
this is what work is, right? Mhm.
mhm. and I was so fearful of becoming this deep person. I didn't. I don't know where that come from, but you know, they call me a modern day witch doctor,
Yes.
but I am. So,
Yes.
but because of the all of the conditioning that has happened in the past and not knowing our history and not understanding how that name came about, but our ancestors were very great healers back in the day
That's
and were turned against for their healing powers
that's right.
so that the white men with the white coats to begin giving drugs
Yep.
to our people and be looked at as the savior,
Mm-hmm.
turning us against each other, dividing us. So when I
Dividing
started
us.
learning my history and I'm like, I'm not apologizing for this is who I am.
This is who I am. And this is how I choose to live.
Hmm.
Because it is a choice. And it's a hard choice
Hmm.
because you people will, demonize you,
Hmm. They will do
ostracize you.
that. Hmm.
They won't support you
Hmm.
because you're not doing what they would prefer you do.
Absolutely.
So you have to stand in your
And
truth.
I had been wounded enough
Yep.
from childhood from not playing the roles that I was supposed to play
Yep.
that I refused to allow myself to continue to be wounded or traumatized or whatever label you want to put on it.
Right.
Which is why I walk around with my spiritual gangster t-shirt.
Yes. Yeah, like you can bring it, but you better know who you messing with.
Absolutely, because I control how I interpret what you do to me. So
Hmm.
although your intentions may be to harm me, how I process that
Yes.
is what creates the wound. And I'm not gonna allow you.
And I'm not going to allow it. And I've gotten so much better at being able to see it when people are coming like that
Hmm.
and not dismiss it.
Yeah. Oh. Mm.
Because I just want to see that light and that love in everybody, but everybody is not that.
Mm.
And your spirit will tell you.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so when you're listening, you can actually move away from some of that before it even get in there.
Or even get in there. You know when I got some practice in that when I first became aware, I went to a mind body spirit conference up
Mm,
north.
okay.
I thinking, oh yeah, everybody mind body spirit, everybody spiritual. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, everybody was spiritual, all right. But it took me to see the ghosts and the
Yeah.
witches and the yeah. I was okay, I see this. And so that was some of my training ground.
That was your training ground. And
Mhm.
that's what we have to get clear about. When we're talking about the master teachers, and we're going to go into the process in a minute so that people
Mhm.
can really get a feel for it.
Okay.
Those master teachers are part of our training ground. They literally, and I know Teresa Lugo be like, will you not talk about that like that? Because some people are like, that's far fetched. But we came here to do certain work at the soul level, and we made agreements with people that are supposed to hurt us,
Yeah.
supposed to do certain things. We asked them, I need to learn how to do this and do this. So will you please hurt me?
Exactly.
And people are like, what? You want people to hurt you? Because the spirit and the soul don't look at it the same way that we do.
Exactly. Yes.
It's not a good, bad, or ugly. It's the
Yeah.
experience so that you can have the capacity to learn how to have compassion for people.
Yes. Because I love how Sir said on Monday, he said, it's the physical body that's traumatized, not the
Yes.
spirit,
Not the spirit.
not the soul. It's the body.
Yes.
And
And
so
we have the memory that we keep bringing back to the trauma.
mhm, absolutely, absolutely. The emotional memory. That's what I have in my notes. Um, that the trauma or the wound is embedded in our nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where, because, okay, I don't want to get off too much, but
No, that's good. Go ahead. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about how we were talking about yesterday, where you tuned in childhood, and how trauma may have happened in the womb, before you're even born, because we don't know what situations are occurring, but emotions are developed. Our emotions are developed in the womb.
Yes, and all of that water, all of the water that your mother is in, all the water that the baby is in, the emotions, and then we come out into the environment where it was already started and now it continues when you're born, unless something disrupts.
Exactly. So it's embedded.
It's embedded.
And then a trigger happens. You may
Mhm.
not even remember. You may not even know why you responded how you responded.
That's
But
right.
a trigger will happen to make you aware that that wound exists.
Wow. And so, and I know we'll probably get more into this tomorrow with Eushaeus and Kiana.
Oh, I can't wait.
But most of our triggers
Hmm.
are from those people that we fall in love with,
Hmm.
because they can take that little bitty finger and
Hmm.
get into that place where we so cool, we ain't never did, and go right in there and say boom, and you go ah.
Oh, or our children.
Okay, or our children,
Yes.
and you're like, why is this bothering me so much?
Yes.
And when you know that you have to take full responsibility for yourself, you don't
Hmm.
go over there and say, listen, stop doing that. You sit back and say, let me see what this is and where
Hmm.
is it coming from? Because it's
Exactly.
not just that person in front of me that's doing it. This is speaking to something.
Exactly. Let me go within, not lash out,
Yep.
not create more traumatic situations. Let me go within and see where is this
Yes.
coming from.
Yes.
Thank you for making me aware that this is inside of me.
Can we start there? If you can just say, I remember somebody going off on me really bad one day in front of a group of people, and I thought this person was a friend, and she was somebody that I helped and nurtured, supported her business, and a Caucasian woman, right? And and she's going off in front of me, in front of all her people.
Mm.
And when she finished, I said, thank you.
Mhm.
And
Thank
I walked away.
Yeah.
And people were expecting me to do all that drama.
Mhm.
I have two words when people do that in front of an audience. First of all, you obviously don't value me as your friend, because if you had that problem with me, we would be talking in private.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Secondly, you're a coward,
Yeah.
because you had to have an audience to say something to me that could
Absolutely.
have best been said, and I didn't have anything else to do with that person. I don't, because you just demonstrated to
Oh,
me
yeah.
that you have no respect for who I am for you.
And thank you for showing me who you
And
are.
thank you. I can go and put my attention someplace else. I love volunteering and helping people. Okay, bye.
Absolutely.
And that's what we have to do. You don't have to give people back that energy. I don't match energy. You're
Like
not me.
they said yesterday, don't take it personal.
Uh-uh.
I'm not taking it personal. I'm
Thank
not
you.
going to keep re injuring myself.
Yes. Why would I do that?
Why would I do that?
And this is how we have been taught. We've been taught the terms PTSD, ADHD,
Mhm.
trauma this, trauma that. Oh, I've been diagnosed. They make money off of every diagnosis they give you. Tammy, you in the pharmaceutical. The DSM, what is the DSM-5 comes out? Is it out? But
Oh,
they
yeah,
have new terms all over.
oh, yeah.
New terms.
Oh, absolutely, they do. Yes.
And then they monetize it.
And then they monetize it. And they blame it on genetics.
Yep. They blame it on you.
They bl-
And I'm grateful, and I'm going to talk later about my master teachers, but had this not been part of my work, I
Mhm.
could very easily be a mentally ill person. As a matter of fact, if I lost my mind tomorrow, everybody that know me say, I wondered when that was happening. Because if anybody was going to lose their mind, she had everything.
Come on now. That's the truth. That we would be
I'm
like,
just saying, Dr. Tammy, you know what I'm talking about.
oh yeah. Because if you lost it, we like, you know what, she wanted to lose it. And guess what? Rightfully so.
Okay, right.
We're
But
not gonna be mad.
that's right. Don't be mad. It's just, but see, we literally took the work, and that's, I'm one of the original Indigo children. I don't know which one you claim. Are you Indigo or are you Rainbow Crystal? What are you? Do you? But I know that I am one of the original Indigo children, and when they first started writing about that, I thought it was my children. So I was researching that so I could learn how to raise my children inside of the Indigo conversation. And so when I was talking to other people about what I was doing, they said, "Oh, you must be an Indigo too."
Mm,
And I said, "Really?" And they said, "Yeah. If you look at
mm,
1958, notice who
mm.
was born then." Well, the only people I knew at that time was Michael Jackson, Prince, Madonna.
Yeah, great, great people.
Great people. And I mean, in their music, but also in their revolution.
Absolutely.
Prince and Michael Jackson for sure. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that's the new earth children. That's our work to begin to take it apart, piece by piece.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's what we're doing. We're taking it apart and we're giving people another way at viewing it.
yes.
So now let's get into the process. You started talking about it. So
We
the
didn't have any
first thing
questions
that we
yet.
do,
Make sure we didn't have any questions. Okay.
yeah. So the first thing that we do,
Mhm.
do you have an issue that you want to work through? Do you have something that you're dealing with right now, or if you have a hypothetical that you want to deal with, or we can have a session right here.
Right. I said, boy, there's the aging process. There is the aging parents.
Yes,
There's the mother-daughter relationship.
that's
And that's
always
different,
ongoing.
ongoing. It's different as your
Hmm.
children become adults and have their own families. Relationships
Yes,
change. We change. Relationships evolve.
yes.
Uh, and then I said, well, people want to hear about relationships. Um, but I know tomorrow night we're going to be talking about relationships.
Yeah, but if you want to take it through, because one of the things about the master teacher process, right, is that it fits all relationships, and you just named them: parents, children, significant others, right? But
Yeah,
even the relationship that we have with
yeah.
ourselves,
Mm, mm,
and part of the master teacher work is to take us deeper into that relationship. So,
yeah.
whichever one you choose,
Yes, let's do the one with myself. I'll allow Kiana and who else is tomorrow?
you
Kiana and
chase, you chase. Mm-hmm. Then you
yeah,
chase. Mm-hmm.
tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
night.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
So, when I turned 50, that was right after the world shut down, or the United States anyway, with COVID. So that was
Okay.
2020. So I actually got a reading with Timothy because, you know, the world looked different and we didn't really, know what was happening.
That's right.
And at the same time, I don't know if you remember, I had just completed my MBA. So the
Yep.
graduation was like March 7th.
Yeah.
And I was in Orlando for that, for graduation, no mask. Blah, blah. Then the next week, I'm laying off my staff for COVID. During COVID, we're shutting down, laying off
Yeah.
staff. So very emotional time, of course. Um, so turning 50 on March 26th, uh, I didn't know what that was supposed to look like. I had prepared for 40s, The 50s was just,
Oh,
I
mm-hmm.
just had not, I was so consumed. I was in this new relationship. I'm in love. I'm finishing up my MBA. Um, I'm a director. So I had a lot going on
Right.
for work and personal. So then, when everything shut down, it forced you to have to sit still and I had to sit still. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I had to read it with Timothy, and he shed some light on, it's a great reading. And I'm like, okay, I'm 50. I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be okay. And So it was good. And then I started noticing changes in my body, and I'm like, wait a minute, wait now, I'm detox queen and I eat clean, and I'm not gonna have the same issues that the average 50
Yep.
plus year old woman's gonna have because I don't eat meat. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I started feeling a change in my cognitive skills, slowing down a little bit, and my body started changing. So and then I started seeing some gray hair.
Oh no! No, I'm kidding.
And I was, what is this? I would see one here or there, but I could just pull it out. And
Yeah,
then
but then like
next
a collection.
time, patches. So began to understand um, how, although I'm not 70s or 80s, but how the elderly become depressed as they age,
Mm.
not able to do the things that you used to be able to do at the level that you were used to doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had not prepared for that.
Mm-hmm.
So the work that I'm doing surrounding that, of course, is learning um, how to walk authentically because what I learned, actually, I listened to, Dr. Gabor Mate, Dr. Gabor Mate, he's an
No.
older white guy. He's like a psychiatrist. He has some great videos. And he has this video that says, authenticity heals trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So, this healing process, you don't just make it. Oh yeah, my girlfriend said the beautiful 50s. You don't just, oh, I'm healed. I'm a healer. I'm helping other people. I
No.
made it.
Mm-mm.
No, this is an ongoing process.
Constantly. And wait a minute, I want to frame what you said because I want us to hear that what happened was you turned 50. That was it. That was the only thing that happened, right? And the thing that who it happened to, because when you're looking at the trauma, you're looking at, well, who was involved in that? You were the only person involved in that, right?
Yes.
What you learned about yourself was there's something different,
Mm,
right?
mhm.
There's something, and that's it. It's not good, bad, or ugly. It's just different.
Yes.
There's something different. And now, when you're looking at what's different, instead of saying, oh, and this is what we do, oh, I'm
Mm,
getting old.
mm,
You
mhm.
see how that takes you in a different direction as
Uh-huh.
compared to, oh, I need to regenerate this.
Oh, yes.
You see that? Because we're not taught that part of the aging process is regeneration.
That's right. I love that.
You need
Love
to
that.
regenerate.
Yes.
And so if your people don't realize your nutrition needs to at 20, yeah, you when I was in college, I think I ate pizza and tacos and hot dog every day. Didn't gain an ounce. Got that freshman 10 and I was good because I needed to get some weight on, right? But then what happens after 30?
Ooh,
If
mm.
you keep eating like you did at 20, oh, you gonna put some weight on.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh,
body
yeah.
is different. And so you gonna still eat what your mama ate, what your
Yeah.
grandmama ate, the
Yeah.
fried chicken, the chitlins. You gonna, you can't tell me what to eat. You know, I hear people, oh yeah, I eat meat. What? You know, I don't have a problem with
And
that.
then in your 30s too, you're probably making a little bit more money. So
Oh,
you
you can
can
eat with it,
buy some
girl.
treats.
Food and alcohol. Come on,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yep.
okay. Then you get to 40,
Mm,
and you're still eating like you're 20.
funny.
I got to have, sausage and cheese pieces on Friday night. Got to have me some ribs. Got to have me some fried chicken. I'm make a full Sunday meal. So
Yep.
you're telling your body, and we go through this when we do the life quadrant.
Yes.
Every time you eat something, you're either saying to your body, you're living or you're dying.
Right.
Everything is either healing you or killing you.
Absolutely.
So if most of what you're doing is killing you, you're taking out your life force.
Absolutely. Yes.
And that includes your thoughts too. If you're not 65,000 thoughts the average person has a day,
Mm-hmm.
90% of them are negative or repetitive.
Yes.
How many people train their brain?
Mm-mm. Nope.
And then watch everything, listen to everything, talk about everything.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Literally, there's no mastery in any of that. You're just following what everybody else is doing.
Absolutely.
So here you are 50,
Mm-hmm.
but you had made some changes at 40, right? You had
At
started
39,
doing some, yeah.
39, because I said I was going to live my 40s. I was going to be healthy and feel good. And I did.
But let me tell you what sneaks up on us now. The refinement process.
Ooh.
The
Mm.
ascension process is designed for us to become better human beings.
Mm.
So now the stuff that was in your cellular system
Yes.
that you did not heal,
Mm-hmm.
you're clean now.
Yes.
It can come to the surface for you to release.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, if you have the skill set that
Mm-hmm.
you can breathe through the
Mm.
pain, you can cry and release the stress and tension. You
Yes.
can journal and get that out of your head.
Mm.
Or
Yes.
you can find you a life coach to work it through, or a therapist, whoever you do. Or if you got a best friend, that works too.
That's right. My BFF on here. Yep.
Okay, if you got a best friend, I'm telling you. So if we can get to the point where we start now cleansing those places that when we were younger, we didn't have the skills to deal with it.
Come on. Yes.
We didn't have the skills to deal with all this trauma that we saw growing up. But now at 50, we can address it in a way that we can release it from our DNA. And this is how generational trauma gets healed.
Mm.
We
Yeah.
start releasing it from ourselves. And when you start releasing it from yourself, you get to see 60 and
Yeah.
be like, I can still work my cutism, baby.
Come on a motorcycle at that.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like Mu Shemsu-t when I grow up.
Long as y'all ain't taking no videos of me getting on and off.
You looking good, baby. You look the same
Oh
way.
my God. We rode 500 miles that day, and I was like,
Wow.
yes.
I said, wow. I'm trying to keep up with you.
But listen, I am so grateful because my mentors, Dr. Happy, Tahuti Sema, Nessa, they teach me as I go because they're all you know, 14, 15 years older than me. So they're giving me what I need too. You
Ab-
understand? They're showing me how to, because they're all very healthy. They eat, I still, according to them, party more than they. But that's what you're doing, Mushims. Motorcycles. Don't you have a class to teach? And I'm like, listen, I got some life to live too.
Yes, absolutely.
So now, Dr. Tammy,
Love it.
so you didn't look at a different way. Now I can regenerate.
Regenerate.
So now what can you acknowledge
Ooh.
as 50 being one of your master teachers?
Mhm, mhm. I I acknowledge that I have been preparing all this time for my regeneration period. Um, and I acknowledge that I did not see that as regeneration
Yep.
as a result of conditioning.
Yep.
I couldn't see it.
No.
So I acknowledge that I couldn't see it.
When I look, and most people my age are on some form of medication, some form of walkers, some form of can't eat this, can't eat that,
Yeah.
because they're allergic to. And most of the time, I tell people, most of the time, I'm not about to eat. I'm taking my supplements.
Yes.
Most
Yes.
of my stuff is about getting my minerals, getting as much, because we don't realize the food is denatured. So
Exactly.
we're not getting all the magnesium we can get out of a avocado or a pistachio or whatever that naturally comes with magnesium.
Not living in the United States.
Not living in the United States. We go over there with Zakura over in Italy, the food is different. Or Europe or Africa, it's all
Yeah,
different than the United States.
absolutely.
They don't import United States
Exactly.
food any place
Exactly.
because it
Exactly.
is denatured.
Exactly.
So go ahead. You were continuing, acknowledging that you weren't aware of that regeneration, but now you see it.
I see it. I see it. I acknowledge that I see it. I'm embracing it. Um, yeah, I'm seeing through a different lens,
A completely different lens.
a completely different lens.
Yay!
And that was the breakthrough that I needed.
Yes.
I told my BFF, she's on here, Melody. I said, I'm hoping. Yeah, she said, thank you for blessing my soul. I said, I'm hoping for a breakthrough tonight. Didn't I say that, Mel? Didn't I say that? That's a breakthrough. And she my
I,
coach. I
you
call her.
know, I'm telling you, you know what? I was speaking with someone, and I want to run through my earliest, what had me create this process, right? Because I was really wanting, and I think I might have been about 50 when I was really wanting to have a breakthrough about choosing. Like I'm clear what we chose our parents. I can get with that, right?
Absolutely.
I can get to that, right?
Yes.
And I'm trying to figure out, why would I choose a mother who ended up in a mental institution and a father that I don't know? I'm like, why would I choose that? Right? So I must have spent probably about 3 months just really doing some, and it wasn't a victim mode or any of that. I really wanted to look at what were the soul qualities that I would want to have that would be created inside of that choice.
Yes.
So one day I was walking through one of my old neighborhoods, and I said, "Oh, I remember I was 5 years old when I went to this school. Oh yeah, and I walking through and remembering stuff." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's where I was when my mom, had her mental breakdown. Oh yeah, right."
Mm,
And then I'm walking, and then all of a sudden, Spirit said to me, "And you did just fine, didn't you?"
mm,
And I was like, okay. And then I started
mm,
looking and I said, wow, one of the things that I actually saw was that we're taught that you have to have parents, right? We're not taught that the body is a portal
Right.
and
No.
that people are coming through, spirits are coming through that portal. You aren't guaranteed that your parents are going to take care of you, but you can count on what? The universe.
Absolutely.
You
Source
can
is.
always count on the universe. And for some of us, we don't know that because somehow church has eschewed that. That we don't even get how close God is to us because somehow church got in the way, right?
Well, that was the tool to control us
That was
because
the who can
had
control us
you,
so that we
yeah,
didn't know the full
yeah,
power of
yeah,
that connection.
absolutely, absolutely.
So when I'm going to church and all this as a young person and I'm asking questions and all that because I don't have a mama and daddy. I'm going through life, with God,
Absolutely.
doing what I need to do,
Yes.
being okay and not really knowing that this is a traumatic situation. I don't know that. That's not in my head. I'm just do 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 do, and then realizing, oh, this is the example so that I can literally, as a queen of spade, because everybody is not here and that everybody got their own walk to walk. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not saying this is that. But for me and my work and the work that I was to do inside of the Master Force conversation and all of that was to go through that to be the example
Mhm.
of who the universe, who God is really for every single one of us. And all we have to do is each tap in. Nobody can tap in for you.
Mm. Mm.
Nobody can tap in for you. Nobody can lay hands on you and do anything different from you than what you can for yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
And that is the work. So now, I get that. And then I start doing the work on when I broke my hip, thigh, and knee at 17. The whole Master Force curriculum is based on that book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, that my teacher brought me after laying up there for 3 months. And then I read the book, and 3 days later, I'm in a body cast getting out of there.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, I'm thinking with this book, why aren't they teaching this to us in school? Why aren't we learning that the mind is the most magical place on the planet and that we can program it to do what we want to do?
Yes,
But we're taught at a very young age to do what? Have others program us.
exactly. All about control.
All about. So, Dr. Tammy, that's, as simple as master teacher is,
Mm.
if we would just be willing to look at that trauma and see what is the gift on the other side, it's
Mm.
not bad.
Not at all.
It's another perspective. You are given everything that you need. Everything.
Yes,
Everything. But
absolutely.
you can't be out here talking about, oh, I want to be like them. You ain't giving them. You're
Yeah,
giving for
yeah,
you. You got to get to know yourself.
yes, absolutely. That authenticity, that is my word.
Authenticity. That's the word, Dr. Tammy. Being yourself and being
Mm.
true to yourself.
True to yourself.
In spite of what other people say, how other people treat you or don't treat you,
Mm-hmm. Yes,
be
yes,
yourself.
yeah. It feels good.
And you know what? The authenticity is good on you because you demonstrate your growth to us all the time.
Mm.
It's a beautiful thing because the example is what gets the rest of us moving.
Yeah. One of the things that I had to break out of was that we are one way.
Right.
one dimensional. There are
Mhm.
so many facets, but
So
because I had been trained, and I thought about this actually as I was preparing for this. You know, I grew up in a household where reputation was very important.
oh yes.
So, you don't get out there acting, this is how you act in public.
Mhm. Yep.
This is how you act at school. This is how you act at church. So a lot of that was carried on, obviously, into adulthood.
Mhm.
And even as I reflected on some of my social media posts, memories, you're a naturopath, you are a healer, you are a coach. You can only show your professional
Oh no.
side. So then we got Messy Fridays.
Oh yes.
Because at 50, I busted out. I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn every facet of me. And
Of me. That's right.
I'm not going to try to hide my messy side because
Nope.
I want you to think that I am just this professional person.
Yes.
I have a fun side. I have a funny side. Yeah, I have a professional side, but that's trained,
Yes.
you know.
And there is so many, there's so many parts of us we don't know yet. How do you get to
Exactly.
those parts unless you start exploring? I wasn't trying to find a motorcycle.
I said this definitely not a side I didn't see in the Mu Shemsu-t.
You know how many people was like, excuse me? I said, well, the motorcycle does have a man attached. Y'all do know that, right? I mean, sometimes you got to be willing to have some fun.
No, that's right. And when I saw that, I said, "See, that's what I'm okay. I see this all coming together. Regeneration."
Regenerate. And I also like what you said, Dr. Tammy, because we are taught to do things a certain way. You do it like this, make sure you do it like this, and don't deviate. If you do it like this, we're going to reward you, we're going to applaud you, we're going
Mhm.
to promote you, we're
Ooh.
going to acknowledge you. We're going to make sure
Mm.
everybody know that this is the way you do it. Watch her do it like her.
Mm.
And then we start thinking that's our truth.
Yes.
You're no longer authentic. You're
Exactly.
doing something to get the applause, to get the reward, to get the
Right.
acknowledgement,
Right.
but you don't even know who you are.
You don't even know who you are. And your soul is grieved because you're not expressing your soul,
No,
who you really are.
no, you're not. And part of us die
Yeah.
not even knowing. And then you know what? You know what takes a place of us not knowing, Dr. Tammy? Entertainment, which is
Mm.
another one of those things that have caught our community. You see how much money people are investing in entertainment and new streaming channels and new writers and new because they know that if we can get you glued to the boob tube and all your other devices, we don't have to worry about you becoming great. We don't have to worry about you challenging the status quo.
That's
Just keep
true.
doing what you're doing, and we gonna do what we do and make sure that our generational wealth passes down, and you
Mm.
continue to be poor.
Wow.
That's another program.
That's another program. Mm. Absolutely.
I'm comfortable enough knowing that this is not going to all be cleared up in my lifetime. I'm not going to
Oh,
spend every waking hour talking about, oh, I got to save the world, I got to make sure. No,
no,
absolutely not.
no. But we planting the seeds, like you said.
Planting the
We plant
seed,
the seeds.
doing my own work,
Yes.
being the example, allowing my spirit and my soul to communicate to me
Yes.
what's next,
Yes.
getting to know myself in different capacities.
Yes. Yes. That's
And
the
that's
first
what the work looks like. Yeah.
one. That's the fun part. That's the what's behind the work.
That's the what's behind the work.
Yes.
Because I think I remember I was remembering I was trying to remember. I used to call the master teacher something else because Icha was the one that said we should call this master teacher. I was trying to think what
My
I
partner.
do. You remember? I can't remember what it was, but when I taught you guys, you were all in the first class.
And
It
we
was
all
another
took it.
name,
Mhm,
right? And then when we went through the process
mhm.
together, each was like, "Man, those are master teachers, Moo." I said, oh yeah,
Yes.
those are master teachers. And now I can't remember what I called it before. But that
Crazy.
is really, if we are willing to look and see that what we call trauma,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, my husband getting murdered when I was 25, extremely traumatic. I had children, right? I didn't have parents to call, right? I wasn't in this work yet, I was still walking with God, but I wasn't, imagine what I did know to do was to sit still and breathe.
Mm.
I knew to do that. And then I just had to let things unfold. His mother, sent for the body, brought him home, didn't invite us to the funeral. And not, I haven't talked to that family since. Isn't that something, right? And at 25, that's a precious time where I could have become very cold and bitter,
Absolutely.
you know.
Oh, wow.
But what I knew to do was to nurture my family. And I knew that I had to get back to Chicago because I was living in Iowa at the time so that I could be around my community.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
knew that I had to do that.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
when I went back to look at that as a master teacher, that relationship and all that, I had to grow, I had to go through that to grow into this independent, interdependent,
Mm.
right? Leader
Yeah.
of people that I am. You have to go through some things that look bad and feel bad in order to realize your gifts.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And when I pour libation to him, I'm not pouring libation based on the challenges that we had in our relationship. I'm pouring libation on the fact that, thank you. Thank you for whatever you saw in me. Because I promise you, I did need to be married young.
That was definitely a blessing, not a gift.
I didn't have parents. I
Yes.
didn't have mother and father, so
Yes.
I needed some structure.
Yes.
People can say what they want to, but
Yes.
I'm clear that the
Yes.
universe is like, how we gonna help this girl?
Give a
Off
husband and
in
some
New
kids.
York, hanging out with the Latinas, talking about.
Oh yeah, you were in New York in your 20s. Oh yeah.
Well, universe is like, we gotta have, we gotta handle.
Give a husband and some kids.
Gotta get a husband, get her grounded.
Grounded. Family. Family.
Family. And because I didn't grow up in a family, when I started creating my own family, I then knew what I was missing.
Yeah, you created it. That's
I
the word.
created it. And when I tell you I have the most fabulous children on the
Yes,
planet,
you
and
do.
I know yours are fabulous too, but I'm saying for me,
Yeah. And when you told me Tia's almost 40, I was like,
she might not want you to say that.
I think you said it though.
I don't know. I might have. But
You
she
both of your
literally,
20s.
I see her, she looked like she like 18, 19.
Right, exactly. That's why I was like, is that right?
Yes. And my children literally, I used to tell people I gave birth to my mother and my father because they
Mm.
helped raise me. They
Mm.
made me into who I am. They are my master teachers
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
All three of them,
yes, yes,
you know.
absolutely, yes. You
So
know,
this work is that, right?
it is, and as you say that, and when I was, preparing, I thought about with my daughter. I only have, I don't know if people know, I have one daughter and three grandchildren,
Hmm.
and I had my daughter when I was 16.
Hmm.
So I hid my pregnancy
Right.
for the first 8 months
Right.
because I had the fear of my parents.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
I was in denial.
Yeah, and hoping it was gonna go away.
Hoping it was going to go away because, I went to the doctor. They said it was the flu. So let's just keep thinking it's the flu. Okay.
Okay, right.
And I carried, although that was trauma, I didn't realize that that was a
No,
traumatic
no,
experience
no.
for me and for her being
Absolutely.
in the womb
Yeah,
because I didn't even acknowledge the pregnancy
yeah. Or
until
her.
I had to,
That's right.
or her,
Mm-hmm.
until I had to.
Yeah.
And that was basically by the time my parents took me to Cook County Hospital, my
Mm.
father, to get checked, I was already 8 months.
And he was pissed.
Oh, yes.
Everybody gets mad. Like, is this not the easiest thing on the freaking planet to do? And y'all acting like y'all didn't do it for me to get here?
Yeah,
Excuse me. But
yeah.
that,
I know, I know. And it was traumatic for everyone.
everyone.
My dad was so compassionate and loving and
Oh,
Cook
that's
County, and
wonderful.
they said, we got to keep her. But guess what though? This is how the universe take care of you. I was vegan. I could not eat any animal products.
While you were pregnant?
I was pregnant. I could only eat fruits and vegetables. I would throw up processed. I
Wow.
couldn't
Yep.
eat milk. I did not want bread. I may be able to do like some crackers, but really, I just had this outstanding diet, and she came out fine on Christmas Day.
Oh my God.
You
And a
know,
Capricorn. You know she had to be a Capricorn
and a
to,
Capricorn.
to survive that. Capricorns are winter. We start the year and we begin the year for a reason, okay?
You do. Yeah.
I mean, the ended and the started, okay?
The end of the starting. Yeah, December
Hmm.
25th. And but because of the conditioning of, back in the day, it wasn't stylish to be pregnant in high school. So
Oh no,
they
no.
would they
Matter
would
of
send
fact,
you
they did
to
have those schools that they would send you off
alternative
to, though.
schools.
Yeah,
Yeah, alternative schools. But because they didn't know I was pregnant,
yeah.
you but I carried the shame
Yes,
of
ma'am.
having a child at 16 all the way
Mm.
until, did you freeze, Mushu?
Did I freeze?
Oh, you froze for a second. Okay, you back.
Okay, okay.
I carried the shame of that all the way until 39, until I saw
Oh, Dr. Tammy,
the birth.
that was the opening.
That was the opening.
Oh my
With
goodness.
my master teacher. But
Yes.
I did not want her to be my master teacher.
Yes, you did
But
not.
I did not.
Hmm.
That's what you
You
came here to
you
do.
know what is so beautiful about that, and the next time we have a session, because I did this with one of the other coaches, we went back and you can do this yourself. We went back and looked at her cards
Mm.
and look to see because she had a child too at I think 16 or 17. So we went back to look to see what were her cards, what was she learning that year, and that was her highest year, that was her queen year.
Wow.
Okay, so if we can get to the point where we can really trust that everything is in divine order, because she had a breakthrough when she saw that that was her queen year. She was like, what?
Wow. Wow.
Yes, you gave birth to your daughter in your queen year.
Mm,
That was the most powerful time to do that.
mhm.
So if we go back and look at that time, you'll see that there were some spiritual attributes that were being added to you that you're using now.
Yeah.
You didn't know it then, but they
Mhm.
were being added to you so that you could use them now.
Wow, it's powerful.
And look at the difference that you make for all of the women. I mean, you are, yes,
Mm,
you are that queen that people can see and trust and know and be authentic with. I mean, this is really good stuff. Because most of that shame, the thing about shame is when we look at remember how we talk about the emotional cycle, and if you look at shame, it's where it's at the
it's
bottom.
at the bottom. Yeah, the levels, power versus force, right?
Power versus force.
At the
Power
bottom.
versus force. It's at
Mhm.
the bottom. Who is that? Who is that? Hawkins.
Yep, David Hawkins.
David Hawkins,
Yeah,
right. If you don't get and release shame, you can never rise up.
that's right.
You have to release shame in order to get to courage.
It's the courage. Which what did he say? Only what percentage of the population ever reach
Oh,
courage? 200? Level 200?
it's level 200, but
Uh-huh.
very few
Very few
people
will even
have the courage to live a good life. Very few.
mhm, mhm.
Because it takes courage to do what? Be authentic.
To be authentic. Come on now. Yes. Because that's where power shows up.
That's where power shows up in your authenticity. So
Mhm,
to acknowledge your daughter
mm,
as your master teacher,
mhm, mhm.
I'm telling you, I already know if I wouldn't have had kids, I would be dead now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I had no reason to live without my children.
Yeah.
That gave me such substance.
Yeah.
And then I wanted them to have a good life. I wanted them to know love.
Yes. It's very well. Yeah.
I remember my daughter said, "You were not a good mother." I said, I can hear that. I said, I can hear that because I didn't have a mother. I didn't know what mother was. I said, but what I do know is that I loved you and I always gave you my best and I kept getting better
Yeah. Come on.
because I wanted to know love. And I learned love through my children. Every time I had to give love to them, I saw where I wasn't giving it to myself and I had to include it. It was easier for me to love my children than it was to love me.
Yeah.
But then I also saw, yeah, well, you're making sure they are okay. You're making sure they take their vitamins. You make sure they get to bed on time. You make sure they ain't watching too much TV.
Mm,
You make sure they not eating junk food while you
mhm.
sneak in the car and eat your Skittles.
Come on, right?
Integrity. They made me raise all of my integrity up, okay? You can't tell them not to do something and you going behind their back doing it.
Come on. Isn't that why Black women, we are on the top of dying from heart disease? We are number one, the number one disease. We are the number one to die.
And guess what's the easiest cure? Nutrition.
Yep, preventable and reversible.
But here's my other statistic that boggles my mind. Black people are the largest number of educated people as a sector in the world, not just the United States, right? As a group. But we can't trickle down and save our children, our
Mm,
husbands, our communities. Who's benefiting from black people being the smartest sector?
mm.
Who's benefiting? We need to look at that because it's not us. We're not benefiting off of each other being the smartest sector.
And that the Dr. Mate that I was telling you about, what he said was they profit off of developing, meaning the U.S. profits off of the development of our left brain,
Oh
but
yeah,
our emotional quotient level, that right brain, is underdeveloped.
it's underdeveloped.
That emotion, that intimacy,
That
that
intimacy, yes, that
so we're
family, that nurturing, those feminine qualities
exactly.
out the window.
So we making money for the CEOs. We making money for them. Okay, we getting these degrees and giving these schools and
All kind of all kind of admiration, applause, rewards, promotion, but at the same time you dying faster than anybody else on the planet, and so are your husband and your
yeah.
children.
So at the end of the day, does all those degrees matter? Does all that money matter?
No, not if you can't save yourself.
Not if you can't save yourself.
So we each other's master teacher.
Yes, yes.
Hey, you know, we have to get to that level of responsibility where we can hear in love
Yes. You're in
and
love.
nurture and support each other in love.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Because when you said that your daughter told you you weren't a good mother, the average person, the average mother would have been offended and would have anything to do with their child.
Girl. But I mean, when she said it, I was like, I can't argue with that because
Right.
you don't know how you affect other people, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, well, I can hear that, and I could. That's all I said. I didn't say I agree or I disagree. I just said I could hear that.
I
But what
love
I
that.
do know
Love that. I
is
love
that I gave my best. I am 100%er in
I
whatever I do, including
love that.
marriage.
Yes. I love
So if I didn't benefit you, I can take full responsibility. But we're still alive, and I'm still trying to do my best.
I
Whenever
love
you want to talk to me, right? You may not always want to talk to me because now we adults, and I'm gonna call you on your shit like you call me on mine.
that. That's so healing. That's so freeing
Yes,
to be able to respond in that way instead of becoming offended.
that's right.
I
I
love
know
that.
she loves me.
Mhm.
She can look at me and see herself just like I can look at her and see myself. You
Absolutely.
know, I
Yeah.
want the best for her just like she wants the best for me.
Yeah. That's
That
beautiful.
may not mean that we always need to hang out. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes.
It's all good. Oh my God, Dr. Tammy, my bell just rang.
Oh my
It's
God.
about to be 8:30.
We didn't get to Teresa talking, Tanisha talking. We got some Sarah jumped on. Oh my goodness. We had a good time.
This is absolutely amazing. And I continue to just really appreciate how the coaches embrace this work for themselves and their clients.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a
Absolutely.
huge, uh, when we first started doing this, I remember when Spirit said you have to duplicate. Spirit told me one day I woke up, Spirit said, you got to duplicate yourself.
Yeah.
I'm, I think I was making coffee. I laugh like, I ain't cloning myself, you know. And then I said, okay, well, get serious. Like, what would that look like? And so I
Yeah.
started meditating, and the Spirit said, well, yeah, just, certified life coaches, teach people what you do. And all I could think of, Dr. Tammy, was people are going to think, who the heck does she think she is? And then
Mm.
in that moment, I said, do I really care? No, because I did want people to get this work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so when I went out on Facebook and I said, hey, I'm offering a free life coach certification course, there were people like, well, who certified you? Who did it? You know, I'm like, well, first of all,
You
I
gotta
wrote
slow
the
down,
curriculum.
but wasn't it like 12? Like you were only allowing a
I invited 20, but I was only going to allow 12. And so
yeah,
we ended up with 12, right?
something with that number.
Yeah. But it was just one of those things of trusting the process.
Mm,
And I knew why it was 12 because Jesus taught us how to teach. You get a
mm,
small circle.
come on.
You
Mm.
teach from a small circle, and then you're number 13, and that makes four. So you're standing on solid legs,
Ooh,
you know.
yeah.
And you know, when we did that first class, nobody wanted to leave.
No,
We,
extended it into the next year, and
we
it was
went
like, okay.
20 weeks, 20. And finally, I think Leela was the one to say, yeah, I'm not going to keep driving up here from Atlanta. Are we done? You know, yeah, we're done.
We've gone into the financial part, and
We done
we
went through every week. Right. We're like, no, we're done. That's a whole nother, you know. But I really am honored to be in the space of each one of you
Mm,
for that reason. Because you saw the vision, you trusted the process, you helped me to keep refining it and going into it and building out from there. And I know that, you know, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep making a difference. You know, so
absolutely.
yes. So, you know, it's time for us to
Well, I
to
just had
oh,
one. You asked me to
yes.
give one book recommendation.
Yes.
And this is Dr. Nicole Pera, How to Do the Work. Uh,
How to do the work. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
this book, I tell people this is my mental Bible. I've been teaching holistic detoxing for 13 years, so I'm no longer uh, teaching that. So I'm still executive life coach, but I'm no longer.
Yes. And what can I ask you why?
Because I'm only working with masters now.
Apps, you better come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So I am working with those who have gone through the program, uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 13 years, and it's time to bring them to the next level.
Yes. And I'm with you on that because we have to be supportive of creating leaders that are going to create leaders that are going to create leaders.
Yeah.
We don't need people following us.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you creating?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just
Hmm.
time to develop those who have been a part of Restored by Tammye these 13 years and
That's beautiful.
helping them get to their next level.
Yeah.
So I'm not accepting new clients from a detox perspective, but
Hmm.
coaching, I do limited referrals. Um, but How to Do the Work, Nicole Apparel, this book is amazing. And she captures everything that I have been teaching and more because she is a psychologist.
Hmm.
So she has worded this so perfectly
I love that.
until everything that I tried to teach in 13 years, that I
Hmm.
tried to communicate, she slammed it in this book.
Don't you love when that happens?
Oh,
When I've gotten to the point too where I'm like, all I got to do is give somebody a book. I don't need to spend time.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When I
It's not good
started
use of my time, I should say.
Yeah, yeah. When I started teaching holistic detoxing 13 years ago, we didn't have the
Nope.
people out here. We didn't have all of what we
And
have.
we didn't have the internet. Now you can find whatever you need
You
if you
can find
want
whatever
to
you need.
find it.
Yeah. I can't continue to teach people why they shouldn't eat meat. Like
Yes,
you can go online and you can figure that out.
you can figure that out.
But I can, based on all of my experiences these 13 years, then help you go to your next level. I can hold your hand during that process. So
Yes.
yeah, so it's
That's
a beautiful thing.
Yeah, this fall I'm actually going to start a series of writing. I want to only work with masters who are looking to create their book, their memoirs, their epitaph, whatever they want to call it,
Agree.
whatever. It's we
Yeah.
have to get this work out there through the paths that we took so that the people know which way to go, you know.
I'm there.
Yeah, so it's, and my spirit has been telling me, because I'm like, I don't know what to do next, because I've
Yeah,
retired so many times.
I know. And that's what I thought about. I said, I don't understand why Moon doesn't see, she doesn't coach anymore. I get it.
Yes, because at some point you don't want to pull people.
Yeah,
It has to be with ease and grace. So people who are ready to do the work, they can find me. People that's not, they can find those other people who are ready to teach them, because that's not me.
yeah,
I'm gonna I hold a huge mirror in accountability. So it's like, yeah, you don't want to come and play over here.
yeah, yeah, because you were referring people to me.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody said, and the only people that I do take are who the coaches refer.
Mm,
Yeah. So in your family, so it's kind of like somebody's mother, father, son, you know what I mean? Because it's like I can't do the public.
yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
people are still not being responsible for this is
Yeah,
your life.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's pretty much for me. Not the detoxing part, but the coaching.
Yes, the
More
coaching part. Yes. Yeah, very cool. So, okay, so you gave us a reference. Do you have any final words for the audience?
Okay. Um, I do. It goes back to the authenticity. I wrote this down. Uh, and this again, Dr. Mate, he says, lack of authenticity is a significant cause of mental and physical disease and distress. He said, it's not the genes. He said, genes turn on and off by alignment.
Yeah,
He said, it's the lack of authenticity. So stop trying to prove to the world who you are. Learn how to be vulnerable. And
mm,
I take that as learn how to live from your soul. That's that authenticity because authenticity heals trauma.
that is beautiful. I just saw the title of your book. I'm not going to say it out loud, but yes, that is powerful. Yeah. If we can really get that, just who we are in all of our imperfection, we are perfect. And let God work through you, with you, in all of that, And I don't even like using the word God, because the energy cannot be contained in that small word. The universe, that's why we use the word universe, because God speaks to the male, the left brain aspect, but the universe is full of feminine energy too.
Yes, absolutely.
All of that creativity is feminine energy.
Yes, it's feminine energy.
Yes. So it's available to each one of us.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's what we want to,
absolutely.
that's what our work is. That's what we do at Master Force. We help people to tap into that so that their greatness just begins to ooze from them. I know.
I'm so excited about the next 2 nights.
Yes, Dr. Tammy.
I
Thank you
am.
so much.
I
Yes.
will be on.
And I'm glad you said that, because I want to invite everyone back. We have 2 more nights.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're talking about trauma and relationships, and I'm sure that's going to get just as deep as
Oh,
we've been the other 3 days.
oh yeah. I'll
And
be
then
on.
that's with Ushayas and Kiana, right? And
Yep.
then we're doing on Friday, we're actually looking at being spiritually grounded. And
That's good.
yes, we have to say that, because For some reason, we don't realize that that's the that's the juice. That's the
Oh,
okay. That's the
it is.
It's not a word or what's the trend or
The
fad.
trend or fad, yeah.
It's the
It's
real
how
thing.
we stay balanced
It's how we stay balanced.
in
And
this
if you stay
tumultuous
spiritually
world.
grounded, that's right. If you get spiritually grounded, you don't have to worry about being mentally ill.
There you go. That's right.
If I'm in my head too much, I need to go meditate.
Yes. Yes.
Go sit
Absolutely.
somewhere. Go in nature. Go get on a bike. Go walk. Go by the
Yes.
lake. Get out of your head.
Get out of the tumultuous, all of that.
Right.
That's not, we're in it, but we're not of it.
We're in it, but we're not of it. And we will end on that note. Thank you so much, Dr. Tammy. Thank you for everyone that joined us. It has
Yes.
been fabulous. We will see you all on Thursday and Friday. And again, happy summer solstice.
Yay.
All right,
Thank you.
folks. Very cool. Everyone, good night.
Good
I'll
night.
see you
Thank
all
you.
tomorrow. Stay there, Dr. Tammy.
Okay.